Okay, today I'm going to work on harmonization. Since in my last exam I chose a major example, I decided to choose a minor example. So I chose example number 1. And I started by going through and labeling my Roman numerals using using second and first inversion chords. So I am using closest position chords. So I'm using the minor 4-6-4 and the major 5-6-5 along with my minor 1. So since this piece is in G minor, to familiarize myself with the chords, I'm going to play the scale chord exercise slowly with the closest position chords. Now that I've familiarized myself with the chords, I'm going to go through the first 6 measures. This little harmonization is broken into 2 separate sections. And I labeled all of my chords underneath. So I have like my major 5-6-5. And then I have a cadence in the middle. And there is 2 pickup notes that do not have chords on the first part of it. So I'm gonna start by only going through the first 4 measures, including the pickup. And also, before I started, I looked at the octave in which the melody is played, and it's played right here in G4. So I'm gonna have my chords 1 octave below with G3. So I have 2 okay, right there I already made a mistake, so I'm gonna go back through that measure slowly and fix the mistake that I made. So it's a 1 chord, 4, 5. I'm gonna do it 2 more times to make sure it's solid. Now I'm gonna go back from the beginning and play through the first 4 measures. I'm going to do it again because I made a mistake in the last 4 measures. Now I'm going to go to the second line, and I'm going to practice going from the minor 1 to the major 5-6-5. Do it 2 more times. Now I'm going to do that starting from the beginning. I must start over. One more time. So that time going from the minor 1 to the 5-6-5 was better, but I did make mistakes in my minor 4-6-4 chord. So I'm gonna review the scale chord exercise to make sure that I know those chords. Good. Now I'm just gonna review the first 4 measures one more time to even out any mistakes. Now I'm going to go through the 4th and 5th measure with the 5-6-5 chord. I decided to choose this chord for 2 whole measures when before I was doing 2 chords every beat. It's because it maintains the dominant scale degree. So it starts on Re, and then the next measure also starts on Re, and it has Re, Ti, Do, Re, Me. So I decided to keep the 5-6-5 chord there since all of the other notes fit best in that chord. So I'm going to play the 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to 1. I'm going to do it 2 more times. I'm going to add that on to the beginning. So on this one, I'm going to tap my foot to make sure that I am getting the correct rhythms. So for now, I'm just going to play the root of the chord following my lead sheet on the top of my notes. So I can get this rhythm first. So I'm just going to play the rhythm in the right hand and chords in the left to narrow out the rhythm in this piece. Play it regularly now, because I think that was messing me up. The rhythm is better. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. I'm gonna do that one more time, saying the rhythm out loud. 1 those last 2 measures are giving me the most trouble, I'm going to go play those again. Slower. 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. I'm going to do it one more time. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Okay. I'm going to start on the second half of this piece. So it after what I just played, it ends on another 1. It doesn't feel finished though, because there is me in the melody. So it continues, and we're gonna stay on the 1 chord for 1 beat, and then it's gonna switch to 5, and then 4, and then back to 5 for 2 whole measures, just like in the first half. So it's gonna start. Since I had a mistake in the small run, I'm going to go slower and only play that a couple times. Up to 5, and I'm going going to do it 2 more times. One more time. And now the most tricky part for me in this piece is going from the 5-6-5 to the minor 4-6-4. So in this measure, I am just going to play 5-6-5, going to 4 slowly. I'm going to do it one more time because I'm going 5-6-5 to 4-6-4 back to 5. I played 1. I'm going to do it 2 more times so I don't stop. Two more times. One more time. Now I'm going to add that first beat onto there. I'm going to play that a couple of times and slower. I'm going to do it 2 more times at that tempo. Oops. I'm going to do it 1 more time. I'm going to do it 1 more time so I don't make that same mistake. I'm going to finish off the example. So I'm going to start there again, and then I'm going to play through the last line. I'm going to play those last 4 measures only, narrowing them out. So I get the transition between the 5-6-5 and the minor 1 and the minor 4-6-4 and back to the 5-6-5. Isolate this measure where it goes from 1 to minor 4-6-4 because I believe I played a 5-6-5 instead. So start 1, 4 to 5. I'm going to go back to the beginning of those 4 measures, and then I'm going to piece everything together. I'm going to start back at the beginning and try to play through the whole thing without any mistakes. If I make a mistake, I'm going to continue, and then I will go back and mark those so I can practice them later. But I'm going to try to practice continuity, so I am going to be tapping my foot to make sure that I do not stop. And I'm going to count off. Since this is in 2-2, I'm going to give 2 full measures. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 spots marked that I have mistakes in, so I'm going to go back through and isolate those. And the main issue was chords in my left hand. So real quick, I'm going to just do the scale chord exercise one more time to familiarize myself with the transition between the closest position chords. And then I'm going to go through this one more time. Slow. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and do that one more time because I made that same mistake, so I'm going to isolate this real quick. One more time. And then I'm going back to the beginning and place the whole thing, and I will continue to practice that spot since that is the most difficult because it has 16th notes. So overall, I have areas where I need to practice. It is when there becomes more notes. I want to make sure that the rhythm is correct and that I am not stopping, as well as playing the correct chords. And even if I do make a mistake, not stopping, since that will knock me off points on the final exam. So that is my practice video for my harmonization.